Hey guys, and welcome! Today we're gonna take a look at 10 weapons that you should not sleep on in Season 7 of Battlefield 2042 and instead play and master as long as they are good. Cause we all know things can change pretty fast in the game and the next weapon nerf might only be one update away. I mainly selected these weapons by the level of fun it is to play them, so they all come with a good balance between handling and damage and don't seem to be as much affected by the new visual recoil system as others. I also won't go too much into the stats of these weapons to keep the video short, cause I want you to play them and try them out instead of watching a drawn out video. So with that out of the way, let's get right in. And we started off with the SMG category and my three favorite close to mid-range combat guns. The first two are the MP9 and K30 that seem pretty close in their characteristics but still play a little different. Both have a high rate of fire and are made for close quarters and are perfect for an aggressive playstyle and sneaky flanks. On the MP9 I'm using the Type 4 heavy suppressor, the LMG grip and the subsonic ammunition. The combination of Type 4 and subsonics give you full minimap stealth, so you won't be seen as red dot on the enemy's minimap when shooting, and the subsonics also hide your tracers and reduce your muzzle flash, which makes it harder to see where shots are coming from. In addition, the LMG grip increases your accuracy when moving, no matter if aimed down sights or fired from the hip. And for me, this is my absolute favorite for sneaky flanks. The only downside is the low ammo count on the subsonics, but once you got the hang of it, it's easily manageable. Just make sure to use the Type 4 heavy suppressor and not the PB heavy, cause the PB reduces the weapon's damage by about 10%, while the Type 4 only reduces it by 5%, which means you still need the same amount of bullets for a kill compared to the factory barrel, which would be 5 bullets on ranges of up to 49 meters, 6 bullets up to 74 meters, and then 8 and 9 bullets beyond this. But I doubt you will use the weapon with this setup on these long ranges. On the K30 on the other hand, I stepped away from the stealth approach and use a completely different setup. Here I have the tactical compensator equipped for a higher overall accuracy, the MGL laser sight for more hipfire accuracy when moving and a better recoil control, which works well as a counter for the loss in recoil control that comes with a compensator, and as ammo type I'm using the standard issue drum mag for a higher rate of fire and better recoil control compared to the default high power ammo. This takes away a bit of range from the K30 but makes it a lot easier to handle and especially supports the close combat potential of the weapon, what it's actually made for. With this setup, the K30 needs 6 bullets for a kill on a range of up to 29 meters, 7 bullets up to 49 meters and 9 and 10 bullets beyond that. And as a last SMG we have the new STZ-3, and this one is an extremely versatile gun with a pretty high accuracy in aimed and hipfire and is definitely one of the best weapons in the game right now. It truly is not as overpowered as the RM68 or VHX when they were launched, but I'm pretty certain it will see a few tweaks here and there in future updates, so be sure to play the STZ as much as possible before this happens. For my personal setup I'm using the tactical compensator again for higher overall accuracy, but if this adds too much recoil for you, you can also stick to the factory barrel since the weapon already has a pretty good accuracy. At the underbarrel I'm using the LMG grip for higher accuracy when moving, no matter if aimed down sights or fired from the hip, which is perfect for SMGs in general, and as ammunition type I go with the standard issue drum mag for highest ammo capacity, highest rate of fire and lowest recoil. In the second and third slot of the plus menu I would recommend to equip the standard issue extended and the normal standard issue magazine, so in case you run out of ammo you can switch over to these mags and still have the same ammunition type with the same handling and benefits. But that's something I would recommend to do for every weapon if possible. With this setup, the STZ needs 5 bullets for a kill on a range of up to 29 meters, 6 bullets up to 49 meters and 7 bullets beyond that. So in general the SMGs still have a very high damage drop off on range, but the new higher headshot multiplier of 1.55 makes them feel a lot better than before. Next up, there are the assault rifles, and here I also have 3 favorites I can recommend checking out, and that's the AK-24, the new AK-5C, and the MTAR, one of our vault weapons. The AK-24 is probably an all-time favorite of mine for mid-range encounters, because it has a great handling with a good accuracy, hits hard on mid-range, but is also quite useful in close quarters. I'm using the same setup on it that I use for most of my weapons, or at least for the ones where it works well. So on the barrel I have the tactical compensator equipped for higher accuracy. The slight increase in recoil shouldn't be any problem here. On the underbarrel it's the LWG grip for more accuracy when moving, but in the second and third slot I have the HE and AP launchers for a bit of explosive action when necessary. And as ammunition type, the standard issue as drum mag with the extended and normal version as backup to have a good amount of ammunition with me in case there's no support player around who's dropping their crate. With this setup, the AK-24 needs 4 bullets on close range up to 9 meters, 5 bullets up to 75 meters and 6 bullets beyond that, so it's very stable on mid-range. My second favorite assault rifle is the new AK-5C, and this one is actually pretty close to the AK-24 but hits a little bit harder and is even more versatile. In general, I like its mid to long range capability, and that's also how I have it configured. So at the barrel I went with the new heavy barrel, which basically works like the extended barrel that we have on most other weapons, except for the faster aim down sight speed it provides. For the underbarrel it's the LWG grip again, and on this weapon I would also stick to it because you will not only fire it in ADS but also from the hip, so the boost in accuracy for both of these scenarios comes in handy. And for the ammo type it's the standard issue extended with the normal mag as backup for the most balanced performance. For the optic I'm using the fusion holo on most of my weapons, but on the AK you can also try out the new holo point CS that is only available here. With this setup, the AK-5C needs 5 bullets up to 100 meters and 6 bullets beyond this. So again, very stable damage output on all ranges. And the last AR on my list is the MTAR, and for me personally this is the best weapon in the game right now. Its fast firing has a high accuracy and good handling and excels in close and mid-range combat. It doesn't come with too many attachment options, which is typical for the vault weapons, but the ones it has are enough to extend its overall good performance. What makes sense for the MTAR in my opinion is the Warhawk compensator, because it gives the gun basically 0 recoil, but if the default recoil is not a problem for you and you prefer a little more accuracy instead, you can also stick with the default muzzle. What doesn't make any sense on the other hand are the suppressors, especially the heavy ones, because the weapon doesn't have subsonic ammunition available, so there is no full stealth option and all suppressors would only partially hide you from the minimap. For the underbarrel I went with the LWG grip again, but there are not so many options available anyhow, and for the ammunition type it's the same, there's only the standard issue available, so pack the extended one in the first slot of the plus menu and the normal magazine in the second slot to carry as much ammo with you as possible. With this setup the MTAR needs 5 bullets on ranges up to 39 meters, 6 bullets up to 99 meters and 7 beyond that. A bit more similar to the SMGs but also plays more like one. Moving on to the LMG category, there is the Advances, Type 88 and RPK in my top 10. All of them are a lot of fun to play, hit hard on mid to long range and even in close combat if necessary, and are not too hard to control or too heavily affected by the new visual recoil. For the Advances, I'm using the same setup as for the K30 or AK-24, the tactical compensator for higher weapon accuracy, the LWG grip for more accuracy when moving, and the standard issue extended for the highest rate of fire and ammo capacity. What you can also use instead of the LWG grip is the BCG Lite, but really only when you mainly aim down sights with the weapon. If you like to fire it from the hip in close combat, better stick with the LWG. With this setup, the Advances needs 5 bullets on ranges up to 74 meters and 6 bullets beyond that. Then we have the Type 88, and this is a weapon I just recently started playing more and that actually surprised me a lot. It's great for suppressive fire on long to mid range, but can also shine in close range combat and hip firing if necessary. The recoil is easy to control and the accuracy is great, and it doesn't seem to be all over the place after update 7.0 compared to other LMGs. For my setup, I use the default muzzle because I think it's the most balanced barrel attachment for this weapon, the foregrip that only seems to be available for the Type 88 and that reduces its vertical recoil, which definitely comes in handy, and as ammo type I go with the standard issue extended and the normal sized mag in the second slot, but there's also not much of a choice here. With this setup, the Type 88 needs 5 bullets for a kill on ranges up to 100 meters and 6 bullets beyond that. And the last LMG on my list is the RPK, and this weapon is the most fun to play right after the MTAR. It's more lightweight compared to the other LMGs and is somewhere in between them and the assault rifles, but it still hits hard and is your best friend on mid-range with a great accuracy and good handling. For my favorite setup, I went with the tactical compensator again for more overall accuracy, but you can also stick to the default muzzle if the compensator adds too much recoil for you. On the underbarrel, I'm using the laser sight here, simply because there are not so many other options that would make sense, and the laser sight at least gives you a little bit more hipfire accuracy. And as ammo type, the usual standard issue extended, because there are no other options available. With this setup, the RPK needs 5 bullets on ranges up to 49 meters, 6 bullets up to 149 meters and 7 bullets beyond that. So in general, the LMGs are very close to the assault rifles now, even more since they have the same headshot multiplier of 1.9 after the update. And last but not least, we have the BSVM in the DMR category, and this is probably the only DMR that still feels really good and is still fun to play. All others feel quite strange after the recoil changes and definitely need some tweaks before they are enjoyable again. The BSVM on the other hand is still easy to handle, very accurate and reliable, and also has the benefit of fully automatic fire if you don't forget to switch the fire mode at the beginning of each round. For my setup, I used the shortened suppressor for its higher rate of fire, the LWG grip for the higher accuracy when moving, but the BCG Lite works as well when you mainly aim down sights and not fire it from the hip much. And for the ammo type, I went with the subsonic high power because of the reduced muzzle flash and tracer visibility, and because it extends the minimap stealth of the weapon to 15 meters. So all enemies within 15 meters will still see you on their maps, but everyone beyond that won't see you anymore. With this setup, the BSVM needs 3 bullets on all ranges up to 49 meters and 4 bullets beyond that, so even better than the assault rifles. And that's it for today. These were my top 10 weapons in Season 7 of Battlefield 2042, along with my favorite setups for them. Try them out and see if you like them, or tell me in the comments below what your favorite weapon is right now. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Until then, thanks for watching, and thanks to my members for the additional support. I'm Catwoman, and you are awesome.